The morning sky was dark, heavy with rain. The wind howled and water poured down in sharp sheets. Even the city itself seemed tired from the cold. Yet Sandra was happy. She had just gotten a new job, only 2 days old, and after months of searching, she wasn't about to take it for granted. She held her small umbrella tightly as she hurried to work. Her salary wasn't much, but at least she could finally feed herself. But then she stopped. There, standing helplessly in the rain, was an old woman. Her clothes were soaked, her feet bare, and she trembled from the cold. No umbrella, no coat, no shelter. Sandra's heart tightened. She walked straight to the old woman and covered her with her umbrella. "Mama, take this, you will get sick," Sandra said gently. The woman looked up with tired eyes. "My daughter, I have nowhere to go. I just came from the village. I know no one here." Sandra reached into her pocket. All she had was a small amount of money, her transport for the day. She offered it, but the woman refused. "I cannot take what you need, my child." Sandra thought for a moment, then made a decision. "Mama, come with me. You will stay where I work until I close. I cannot leave you here." The woman's eyes filled with gratitude. Together they walked under the umbrella, stranger and stranger, yet connected by kindness. A kindness that cost her everything. When they reached the office, a bright modern building, Sandra found her a small corner. She dried her clothes as best as she could. "Mama, don't worry, my break is in a few hours. I'll take you home before I return." Mama nodded, smiling warmly. Sandra went about her duties, sweeping, arranging files, wiping tables, yet every few minutes Mama watched her with admiration. This girl had nothing, yet gave so much. During her break, Sandra rushed out under the unforgiving sun to buy food for them both. She didn't know trouble was brewing behind her. Emily, the fiancé of trouble. Just moments after Sandra left, Emily walked into the office, high heels clicking loudly, perfume trailing behind her like a warning siren. Everyone knew her. The CEO's fiancé. Arrogant, loud, entitled. Emily scanned the office, and her eyes landed on Mama sitting quietly in the corner. Her face twisted with disgust. "Who brought this dirty beggar into my fiancé's company?" she said loudly. Mama slowly looked up. "My child, I am sorry. I will leave if you want." Emily scoffed. "You better leave. You don't belong here, dirty old woman." Mama sighed. "You have a bad character, my daughter." Emily's rage exploded. "Shut up, get out of this place." Mama stood and walked out quietly, no argument, no insult. Just pain. Sandra returns and war bjuns. As Sandra approached the building, joy in her eyes, food in her hands, she saw Mama standing outside looking defeated. Sandra froze. "Mama, why are you here?" Mama explained everything. Sandra's heart burned with anger. Inside, Emily was still sitting like she owned the world. Sandra marched straight to her. "Emily." Emily looked up lazily. "Oh, the poor cleaner has returned." Sandra's voice shook with fury. "How dare you insult my mother?" Emily laughed. "Your mother, that filthy beggar." Sandra stepped closer. "A good wife is kind, respectful, and humble. You are none of these." Emily rose, trembling with rage. "I promise you, Sandra, you will regret this." Sandra didn't flinch. "Keep the job, I don't need it." She walked out, choosing dignity over employment. Emily clenched her fists, shaking. "You just ruined your life." Or so she thought. The lie that destroyed everything. While Sandra took Mama home, Emily called her fiancé Austin fake, crying. She lied. Sandra brought thugs. Sandra insulted her. Sandra tried to beat her. Austin, far away on a business trip, believed every word. He called Sandra. As he spoke, his anger spilled through the phone. Sandra explained. He didn't listen. He fired her. And Sandra, hurt but dignified, told him plainly, "Keep your job. I don't want to work under a man who can't make decisions without his woman." She hung up. Mama felt guilty, but Sandra reassured her. "If kindness cost me a job, I have no regrets." That night, Mama received a call from her son. He was sick. He needed her home. Sandra noticed Mama's expensive smartphone and became suspicious. But Mama brushed it off with a cheerful lie. The test and the reveal. When Mama reached her son's mansion the next morning, Emily confronted her again. This time worse. "You old fool, get away from here." Mama finally snapped. She called her son, and her son Austin rushed home. When he saw his mother outside in rags, his heart shattered. Inside, Emily walked in casually. "Honey, I saw one dirty woman at the gate. She claims to be your mother." Austin turned slowly. His voice was cold. "She is my mother." Emily froze. The truth hit her like thunder. And then Austin unleashed words she would never forget. "Pack your things, we are done." Emily tried to beg. He didn't listen. She left. For good. Austin learns the truth about Sandra. After Emily left, Mama sat beside her son and explained everything. How Sandra sheltered her, fed her, protected her. How she agreed to meet Austin even after believing he was poor. Austin now felt worse for firing her. But then he had an idea. "Mama, let's not tell her I'm rich. I want to see if she will still accept me as a poor man." Mama smiled proudly. A wise decision. Austin called Sandra that night, pretending to be humble and poor. They arranged to meet at a quiet park the next day. And that was the beginning of a story none of them expected. The man she didn't know was watching. That afternoon sun glowed softly across the quiet park, birds chirped in the branches above, and children played in the distance. Sandra sat alone on a bench, her modest handbag beside her. She looked calm, but inside her world was still shaking. Losing her job. Being insulted. Being misunderstood. It was a lot for one heart. But she reminded herself of her promise. "If kindness cost me a job, then I have no regrets." She repeated it softly. Just then, a young man approached, dressed simply in jeans and a clean shirt. No luxury, no fancy watch, nothing to show he was a millionaire's son. Austin. But Sandra didn't know that yet. He walked slowly toward her, trying to gather confidence. When she looked up, he almost forgot how to speak. She looked exhausted, yet her eyes still held a quiet strength. "Sandra," he asked gently. Sandra nodded. "Austin, right." He smiled nervously and sat down. Both were silent for a moment. Then Austin spoke carefully, pretending to be the poor, struggling young man he wanted her to see. "My mother told me what happened," he began softly. "She said you helped her, even when you had nothing." Sandra looked away, embarrassed. "I only did what any human being should do. I couldn't leave her in the rain." Austin's eyes softened. "You lost your job because of it." Sandra shrugged weakly. "I will find another job. What I can't find is another conscience." Austin stared at her, not at her beauty but her heart, a kind of woman he had never met. Emily had beauty, pride, showiness, but Sandra had something priceless. A soul. He leaned forward. "Thank you for taking care of my mother." Sandra smiled slightly. "She's a good woman, very humble." Austin laughed under his breath. "She's also very stubborn." Sandra chuckled, the first time she laughed since morning. And for Austin, that laugh felt like sunlight. Mama watches from afar. Not too far away, Mama hid behind a tree, watching them with a mischievous smile. She saw the way her son looked at Sandra, with admiration, with awe, with something she didn't need a prophet to interpret. And she whispered to herself, "This girl is the wife I prayed for." The moment that changed everything. After a long conversation, Sandra stood up. "Austin, thank you for listening. I should go now. I need to start looking for a new job." He stood too. "Let me walk you." She shook her head. "No, it's fine." "Please," he insisted softly. So they walked side by side down the quiet park path. But they didn't know someone else was there. Watching. Hiding. Burning with rage. Emily. Her eyes widened when she saw Austin walking with Sandra, talking, smiling, connecting. She clenched her fists so tightly that her nails dug into her skin. "So this is why he dumped me. This poor girl. Never, I will destroy her." Her heart filled with bitterness like poison. And she made a vow. Sandra will suffer. Even more than before. The call night. When Sandra got home, Mama welcomed her with warm food and a smile. But Sandra noticed Mama's phone ringing every few minutes. "Mama, are you expecting a call?" Mama quickly hid the phone. No, my daughter, no one is calling. Sandra found that strange but didn't push it. Later that night, as Sandra lay on her bed, her phone buzzed. It was Austin. His voice was calm but honest. Sandra, I enjoyed talking to you today. I'll like to see you again if you don't mind. Sandra hesitated. Her life was already messy. She didn't want more drama. But then she remembered his humility, his politeness, his warm eyes. Okay, she whispered. I don't mind. Austin smiled quietly on the other side of the phone. Emily, however, had already started creating a plan to ruin everything.
This story doesn't end here, more is coming soon. So make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to be part of the journey.